Hi guys, and welcome to World of Warcraft tutorial part 5. And in this tutorial, in this section, we are actually going to start talking about professions and the professions that your tunes can actually do. And the reason why I'm going over the professions, and we're going to actually spread this out over a lot of parts, and the reason is because there's a total of 11 primary professions and 4 secondary professions. Because there's a total of 15 professions that you can select from, there's a lot of things that you can do. When you're on your tune, you can only select 2 primary professions, and you can select all 4 secondary professions if you like. But you can only select 2 primary professions over that. So one thing I'm going to start doing is getting a little bit more in depth of what you can actually get out of these professions. And in this part, I'm going to be going over what we call the gathering professions. And there's 3 primary gathering professions and 1 secondary professions that I actually include in the gathering professions. So we're going to be going over them. So let's go ahead and start with our first one. Our first one is called mining. And there's Engineer Bud mining a mine in the background. Now what he is doing he's actually collecting ore and stone into his bags as he mines that little mine. And that's actually important because that's one of the materials that you need to help doing some other things. Once he's gathered this ore up, he can do something called smelting, and smelts them into bars, so you can use them in your professions. Now, there are a total of 3 primary professions that benefit from mining, and one is blacksmithing. Blacksmithing can use can use the bars from after smelting to help craft weapons and armor, and can use the stone that he's also collected from mining to help craft other items to help craft the armor and the weapons. The next one is jewelry crafting. Jewelry crafting can use all 3 of the items that he collects. The jewelry crafter can use the ore, actually uses the ore and crushes the ore to actually get gems out of the ore. They can use the bars to craft actual necklaces, rings, and so on to help in their crafting profession. And they can also use the stone to craft other items for them. Now, the third profession is engineering, which is what Engineer Bud is, and they can use the bars and the stones to craft different types of items. So that there's one benefit from a buff or benefit that you get for doing mining, and that is actually called toughness. And what toughness does, it increases your stamina on that tune. So as you're increasing your mining level, you increase your toughness as you mine. The more mines you mine, the higher your toughness gets. So that means it gives you a buff to your stamina. So that means the higher the toughness is, the more of a buff you get from that's added to your stamina. So that's one of the benefits from mining. And one other thing I forgot to tell you, and that's very important and very clever. There's a lot of lazy people on World of Warcraft. So, as a miner, because you have those 3 primary professions that need the ore, the stones, and the bars to craft their stuff, they don't like to farm. So, as you can turn around, put this stuff on the auction house and make gold, which will increase your gold amount in your bank account. So that's another reason why you would like to have mining, is to help increase your gold. Our next profession is called herbalism. And we got an arcane maker there, and he, as you can see, he's actually picking up this silver leaf of an herb. And basically, what an herbalism does, it collects herbs, just like Engineer Bud is doing right there. And the herbs are actually used primarily in alchemy and inscription. Those are the two primary skills that herbalism is used. And that's about it. Herbalism, because a lot of lazy people on World of Warcraft again, you can pick these flowers all day long, and what you don't use for your professions, you can turn around and sell on the auction house because people are lazy. They'll go to the auction house before they go out and farm. So, and there is a benefit to herbalism, and that's called lifeblood. And what lifeblood does, it allows you to, once you activate it, it allows you to actually heal yourself and also give you a little boost in your movement speed. So if you're running away, activate it, gives you a little bit more running speed. If you're attacking, dual wheeling, something like that, it gives you a little bit better movement speed for your character. Now the next one is called skinning, and we got Leathermaker here actually doing some skinning here. And what a skinner does is he collects leathers from animals like this, and he collects animal leather, hides, and scales. There are some creatures that are skinnable that only give you scales. So, and they're used for several professions. The stuff that you collect, you can use in blacksmithing, because they need leather to do some of their blacksmithing. You can use it in engineering, which will help you in your engineering. Of course, you can always use it in your leatherworking, and you can also use it in tailoring. So, like I said, you got 4 major professions right there that you can use your skinning for, that you receive. And you guess what? That's right. You can sell it on the auction house. What you don't use and can't use, sell them on the auction house. Because why? Yes, there are lazy people in World of Warcraft. Thank God that there is, because this gives you gold in your account. So it's very important to have this. Have one of your tunes learning skinning. Now you do get a benefit from this, and it's called Master of Anatomy. And what Master of Anatomy does, it increases your chances of getting critical strikes. And if you're a DPSer or a caster, this benefit will help you, give you a bigger increase, or a larger chance to increase your critical strike. So this is one of the benefits of having skinning on that tune. Our next one is called fishing. And here's Buddy Pal. He's doing fishing off the pier. You can see the ship over there. And he's actually catching some fish for us. And what fishing does, it basically, you catch fish. Now, fish that you catch can be eaten raw. So you don't have to buy food in the inn. You can actually go out, catch your own fish, eat it there to help increase your, replenish the health that you've lost, like normal food does. You can just go ahead and fish it yourself. You can cook the fish, which will give you a higher increase in your health benefits, and it can also give you some buffs sometimes. You can feed the fish that you catch to your pets. So if you're a hunter and your pet likes fish, you can go out and fish for your pet, so you don't have to go buy fish or buy items on the auction house or from a vendor. You get your own. Now there are some rare fish that actually provide unique buffs when you eat them, and there's also one profession that actually benefits from fishing, because there's a rare fishes that you can actually catch that will help you in alchemy. So that's one of the benefits of having a fisherman. The other thing that you can do while you're fishing is you can actually catch chests. Now it could be a locked crate, a locked chest or chest, giant clams, uploaded fish, and in these items that you catch, sometimes there are items that contain valuable things like gems, supplies, or even rings. The next thing that you got is what we call a message in the bottle. You can actually catch a bottle that will have messages in it. Sometimes these bottles will actually contain scrolls, crafting plans, or even a personal journal of somebody's entry. Not from somebody playing the game, but a character in the game. So, but the benefit there is you get some scrolls, and you can every once in a while get some good crafting things that you might not be able to use it, but you can put them up in the auction house and make gold out of it. And the other benefit is what we call other stuff, which you can actually catch potions, weapons, and elementals, essence that will help in your crafting skills. Now, this profession actually benefits one primary profession and a secondary profession. The primary is, of course, alchemy, which I said earlier. But it also helps benefit your cooking, which is a secondary skill. Oh, secondary profession, excuse me. And which will help increase your thing. And that way you can cook your own food. You can cook your fish if you have cooking. The other thing that you can do is, that's right, you can sell the fish that's on there. There are certain fish that are used in certain foods that you eat before you do a raid. And if you know, a lot of people are using that platter, that particular fish, I call it fish platter. You can make those fish platters up if you have cooking. Go fish the fish that you need for it, and make the fish platters, and either sell the fish platters on the auction house, sell the fish on the auction house, because there's a lot of lazy people here in World of Warcraft that don't want to do the fishing. They'd rather go to the auction house and buy it. So that's another way you can make some gold, is with fishing. So I hope, going over at least the gathering professions, you understand the basics of how professions work and can actually help benefit your toon overall. Over the next couple parts, we are going to be going over the other professions that we have, and I hope you are enjoying this parts that we are doing. If you do, please like us on YouTube. If you have any comments, leave the comments down below. I read them, and I'll be able to answer them to the best of my ability. If you got a friend that you think might like this video, share this video with your friends. And if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to my channel. That way you know when the latest video I do comes out. So I'd like to thank you for watching, and you all have a good